You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Whether the Pelicans fly high or fly low, we'll be here to give you the Pelicans Postgame Show. What's up, family? This is DC, giving you a breakdown of the Grizzlies, the Pistons, and recently finished Celtics game as well. So we got 3 games. We got a heavy slate to go over. A few interviews from Gentry himself to see what the coach has to say. Pick his brain a little bit. See what he thinking. But let's get into this Grizzlies matchup. Well, the Pelicans had a hard-fought game with the Grizzlies, man. There's a lot of ties. Yeah, I guess you could give them a round of applause for that. A lot of ties, a lot of lead changes, a lot of back and forth. Hard fought, man. It went down to the last minutes, and they just couldn't get it done. Final score, 107-103. And also, this is the Pels show 286. Before I fully get into the breakdown, I got to let y'all know that. Show 286. So let's go. The field goal percentage favored the Grizzlies by 47%. We weren't too far behind with 45. 3-point percentage as well was in the Grizzlies' favor. It was 42%. We shot 24% from the three-point line. Not very good. 75% from the free throw line for the Grizzlies. 83% from the free throw line for the Pels. They also out-rebounded us 52-49. They also had more assists than us, more steals than us, and more blocks than us. 30 assists to our 25, 10 steals to our 5, 7 blocks to our 5. And the total turnover battle, them only 11, we had 18. We surrendered 26 points on those 18 turnovers to their 11 points. We did manage to eke out the fast break win there. It was 16-13. And we also hit 58 points in the paint to their 52. But let's get into these box scores, go over who did the damage. And the leading scorer on their team was actually a bench guy, Jeff Green, with 24 points. And that seems to be a theme over the next 2 games as well, as we'll cover that later in the show. Kenny Anderson was next up. He had 19 with 11 rebounds and 4 assists. Jeff Green also had 8 rebounds to go along with those 24 points. Mark Gasol put up 15, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. The rookie Jack had 3 points. Michael Conley was shut down to only 9 points, but he did put up 10 assists. Temple chipped in with 8 points. Joakim Noah got out there, shook the rust off, had 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He looked pretty good. Mack had 5 points, and Brooks off the bench with 7 points. For the Pels, we had AD and Julius Randle doing that 1-2 thing. AD had 25 with 11 rebounds and 3 assists. Julius Randle had 26 points, 13 rebounds. Solomon Hill had 14 points, hitting 4 3-pointers. That was impressive. And he also got the start for this game, and so did Julius Randle with Meritage coming off the bench, as well as Etuan Moore. I was very impressed to see that. I thought that was a good idea for a long time. Didn't quite work out for us this game, but hopefully we could see something like that in the future going in our favor and giving us more bench points. Tim Frazier had 7 points, 6 assists with 4 rebounds. Sheik Diallo came off the bench and didn't give us anything. He only got 5 minutes. Meritage, Darius Miller, Etuan Moore all didn't do anything from off the bench. I don't know if Nikolai Meritage, Etuan Moore couldn't get used to coming off the bench just yet, but Nikolai Meritage only put up 4 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. Etuan Moore had 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Darius Miller had 3 points, 3 rebounds. And nobody else pretty much got to get any minutes in. I would like to see Wesley Johnson out there And Harris against his old team, I think he should have at least got some trash minutes or something. But the game went down to the wire. It was a it was an entertaining game. I mean, I thought the Pelicans were gonna pull it out. It looked that way, but it just couldn't connect down the stretch, man. Up until the last minutes of the game, it was pretty much a back and forth. We actually had the lead though, and we had the lead a bunch of times. This game had 18 lead changes, man, and 10 ties. You know, we struggled with turnovers. We committed 18, and that gave them 26 points right out the gate. I mean, then we had the 3-point issue where we shot 29 3-pointers and we only hit 7. I mean, come on, man. You can't beat nobody shooting 24% from the 3-point line. If you can't hit that many of them, you don't need to be shooting them. I mean, we missed our first 6 3-pointers, so like, at that point, you should have knew something was up. And Solomon Hill was the only one able to hit 3-pointers from downtown. I mean, that ought to tip you off right there. That's like the world turning upside down. We trailed by 1 point going into the final quarter. And then we went on a 16-7 run. And we had a lead of 100 points to 92 with 5 minutes remaining. Then the Grizzlies, they made their last run. They went on a 15-3 run and wound us beating us, man. Over the final 11 possessions, we went 0 for 8. You know, that's crazy, man. And then we went 3 for 6 from the free throw line. It's almost like we did. And then Alvin Gentry did try to adjust because he saw this coming with the bench. Their bench put out 53 points to our 11 points. So, let's hear what the coach got to say about this, because, I mean, this is a recipe for disaster. I mean, when you look at these stats and the way they played in that final quarter, I mean, we didn't totally get outscored like nothing crazy. It was 22 points to 19, but if you watch the game, you could just see the intensity wasn't there. The consistency wasn't there, man. They just can't seem to connect in these final minutes and be able to win some of these tough games. A lot of people are saying we only win because we play garbage people. When we play tough teams, we seem to have a problem. And I think the Pelicans need to solve that, and that issue needs to be addressed with coaching, because we definitely have the talent and the potential. So let's hear what Alvin Gentry has to say about this.
Coach, a lot of ties, a lot of lead changes. In the end, it doesn't go your way. What are some of your thoughts after the loss tonight?
Well, you got to finish games. You know, I mean, that's just the bottom line. It's not really complicated. It's a simple thing. You know, you get to the point where you're 8 up at home with 5:12 to go. You got to finish the game, and we didn't do that. You know, we got outscored, I think 15-3 down the stretch. We're up 101-97 with 3 minutes to go, and we don't get it done. And, we missed our last 9 shots. Those are the things that you have to execute, and you have to be able to score down the stretch. You know, they're a good team. You know, they're blue collar all the way. They're going to be, tough. They're going to be into you, but you have to execute enough that, you come up with baskets and you come up with stops. And then we did a good job defensively on some possessions, and then we didn't finish the possessions. You know, they end up with the ball back, or they end up with a tip in, or they end up, at the very end of the possession making a play. And, those are the kind of things that we have to get better at. I thought we competed at a real high level, but, not only do you have to compete, you have to execute down the stretch. And I didn't think we did a very good job of executing down the stretch.
Coach, does that mean that you didn't get the shots that you wanted, or was it just a matter of executing the actual shot itself?
Oh, I think it's a little bit of both, but I think what we have to do is that, we have to continue to play at a pace that we were playing at. That's where we're most comfortable. We're not a real half-court team, so we have to get in the open court, and we have to maintain our spacing, and then we have to complete the play, and the way you complete the play is that you got to make the shot at the end of the possession, and that was not, we just didn't do it.
Coach, the bench had a tough night shooting. In what ways did that factor into the loss tonight?
Well, I think the bench outscored us. It was like, I know their bench got 53 out of the 107 that they had. So, I mean, obviously that's a huge bench for them. And we seem to have trouble with J. Michael Green every time we see him for some reason. And I thought their bench came in and did a really good job for him. J. Michael came in and then Sheldon Mack, but the other guy that really hurt us is Noah, to tell you the truth. I thought Noah came in and gave him a lot of energy, and he was very good defensively and very active defensively. But through all of that, we had a situation where we should have closed the game out, and we just didn't do it.
Was that a last out of timeout play for each one? Was that the look you were looking for in that situation?
Well, if he was going to be open, we would throw it to him. We were going to try to run a play where, we had two options, and it just didn't work out.
On the previous play down, where it ended up with AD shooting the three, was that something where you wanted to attack the basket early?
We were going to try to attack the basket early, and that's one of those plays that I thought we didn't, that we changed the whole pace. All of a sudden we were a little cautious in what we were doing, and that's when we got to play wide open.
You guys have been on this streak now where you lost a game, won a game, lost a game, won a game. I mean, how do you find your footing? How do you get the consistency that you've been looking for?
We have to rescue ourselves. It's on us, not on anybody else. And as I said before, I take responsibility for it. I'm the coach, and I've got to get our guys to the point where we are executing and we are finishing games down the stretch. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Coach, you didn't have Tim in the game down the stretch. Was that just something reflective of what you saw out of Memphis? Or because you talked about the pace.
Yeah, that's something that we'll have to consider, maybe having Tim in down the stretch. But, we played this way down the stretch where we've been pretty good, with Drew and been having a little bit bigger lineup in there. But, we have to get to the point where whoever we have in there is going to execute, and we got to be better at finishing the game. All right.
And that was Coach Gentry giving you a very melancholy breakdown of what happened. We just got to do better. We just didn't do it. I mean, Coach, did you get the shots you wanted? Did you execute? We just didn't do it. So you ain't going to get much out of him. I mean, I guess maybe he don't know what the hell going on. It's probably an accurate assessment. His answer to everything is just faster, faster, faster. We just need to run faster. We're not a half-court team, so just run faster. We got cautious. Yeah, we had 18 turnovers. Just run faster. Run faster and play wide open and get more turnovers. So, but moving on, man, because we just beating a dead horse with this one. So, the Pelicans are following the trend that not only I have predicted, that everybody else has noticed as well. We win one, we lose one. We win one, we lose one. So, guess what's going to happen when we played the Detroit Pistons? Or guess what happened? But we knew what was going to happen. Of course, the Pelicans won this game. Wow, I'm shocked. So they went on to play the Pistons. Don't matter if they're at home or not. It don't matter where they at. After they lose one, they going to win the other one. So they go on, they played the Pistons, and they won that game, right? Is anybody surprised? The Pelicans win and beat the Pistons by a score of 116 to 108. I wouldn't say it wasn't impressive. It was impressive, but the Pistons seem to be a team much like the Pelicans. They seem to be in flux, not really knowing what they want to do. Blake Griffin was their guy. He dropped 35 on us. But outside of him, we had an ex-Pelican guy loose, Joey Galloway. The trend of the reserve players lighting us up continues. And it will continue the next game that we cover in our second segment. And we got to finish the Pistons breakdown. But y'all hear the music. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what we're about to do. So this is the PRO Media Network with the Pelican Postgame Report. And we about to give y'all some commercials because it's break time for me. This is DC. I see y'all on the other side of the break.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
What's up, Sports World? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Postgame Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. And help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican.
Attention, everyone.
Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Welcome back, family. So let's get into these team stats because we got to do the Celtics too. Pelicans definitely did their thing in this game. Drew Holiday went absolutely nuts. He won up Blake Griffin. I told y'all he dropped 35. Drew Holiday gave you 37. And he was the main reason why we won this game. With his help, we shot a field goal percentage of 53%. And the Pistons shot just 43%. We hit 12 three-pointers at 40% a clip. They hit 9 at 31%. We shot 87% from the free throw line. Very impressive for the Pels. If we can do that consistently, I think we'll be very hard to beat. They shot 54%. A lot of misses by Andre Drummond, but you knew that was going to happen. Big man ain't good with the free throws, but he going to get them rebounds, though. So you know they out-rebounded us, 58-48. We had 27 assists to their 28. We had 5 steals to their 8 steals, but we put up 8 blocks to their only 5 blocks. But we did have 18 turnovers, and we did our best by allowing that only to lead to giving them 20 points. They had 10 turnovers, and we converted that into 8 points. We only had 4 fast break points. They had 5. They beat us in the paint, 60, and we had 54, but we still managed to pull out the victory. So y'all know what it is with the Pelicans. Usually when that 59, 60 points in the paint, man, that usually leads to victory for us. In the games where we don't win very much of them. But this is one that we did win. AD had a very unusual game for him. He had 6 points, 9 rebounds, and only 4 assists with 26 minutes. Blake Griffin in my opinion, intentionally kneed him in the hip. And that caused him to go out of the game for a little while. He went back, I guess, iced it down, got himself together. And he came back on out there, man. He definitely was a presence on defense. And he led to us getting this victory on the defensive side of things while having an off offensive night. But Julius Randle stepped in and did his thing. He put up 28 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Solomon Hill gave you 5 points and 8 rebounds, and he played some pretty solid defense as well. Drew Holiday was the man of the hour, playing a full 40 minutes, scoring 37 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. Tim Frazier also stepped up big. He had 14 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Good game, Tim. Probably the best game I've seen from him all season. Sheik Diallo came in, gave 10 minutes, put up 4 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. Nikolai Mirotic coming in off the bench gave you 12 points and 7 rebounds. Darius Miller added 6 points and 4 assists. And Etwan Moore gave you just 4 points. He didn't quite look himself either. For the Detroit side of things, Blake Griffin had 35, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Andre Drummond had 23 points and 19 rebounds. Jeez. And 1 assist. Reggie Jackson was very off. He had just 2 points, 7 assists. Young Glenn Robinson had only 1 point and a rebound. Brown put up 7 points and a rebound. Puya put up 6 points. Zui, I don't know how to pronounce that boy's name. I'm messing his name up. But their power forward off the bench, Zuir, I think that's correct. 9 points, 4 rebounds, and assists. Calderon chipped in with 9 assists, no points, and 4 rebounds. Galloway off the bench pretty much did most of the scoring for their bench with 24 points, man, an ex-Pelican. 3 assists, 3 rebounds. We lost him during the DeMarcus Cousins trade, which would have held on to that guy. 2 points from Kennard and 2 assists and 5 rebounds. This was a game that the Pelicans desperately needed, and they got it, man. They went and executed a little bit better down the stretch. I guess maybe they learned from their miscues the game before with the Grizzlies. Alvin Gentry did let Etwan Moore and Nikolai Mirotic also come off the bench. But both of those guys are nursing injuries. One was sick. Etwan Moore, I don't remember the injury that he's coming back from, still bothering him. But still, nonetheless, it was good to see Alvin Gentry try and shake up the roster to create a different lineup change, as we've been saying that he needed to do. And it reaped its benefits tonight, even though we didn't get everything we would have wanted out of Nikolai Mirotic and Etwan Moore. Detroit only led in this game once, and that's when it was 1-0. So Pelicans pretty much took this game from the beginning. I mean, it was dominating to watch at times, but when you look down at the score, you're like, dang, we only up by 7? It was that type of game. So Andy Davis, he had a right hip injury, as I told you about. I couldn't remember what it was, but it was his hip with Blake Griffin hit the right one. And that caused him to kind of not be himself. Maybe if he was fully himself, we would have totally blew him out. We had him up by 16. That was the largest lead we had in the game with 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Then the Pistons went on a 20-8 run. They cut it down to 4. And with under a minute remaining, Galloway went on the surge, and he scored 10 of his 24 points off the bench. So he wanted desperately to beat us to show us we shouldn't have let him go, but he didn't get his wish. They kept the game pretty much close for the whole fourth quarter. We had a 111-106 lead with a minute left, and we scored 5 unanswered to go ahead and seal the game, man. Tim Frazier had 11 of his 14 points in the third quarter, and Detroit grabbed 17 rebounds, 11 of them from Andre Drummond, man. So that the second chance points, which I didn't state earlier, was 21-11. They won that battle. We could have shored that up. It surely would have been a more impressive victory. but a victory nonetheless. So we'll take what we could get because the Pelicans, they got to get it any way they can at this point. I mean, we're only, I believe, 6 games out of first place, 3 games out of playoffs, but it's very topsy-turvy. Let's hear what Alvin Gentry has to say about this victory tonight.
Job. I thought Julius took the ball to the basket hard. We had AD had a couple of shots that we'd take any day of the week, that he just left a little bit short. But I thought we did everything we could, and when we needed the big rebounds, we got them. The one thing that we talked about early on is that the one way we could get hurt in this whole situation is to give up offensive rebounds. And for the most part, we blocked Drummond out, but he's still so big that he just kind of tipped them over the top of us. But when we needed it the most, I thought we came up and got the rebounds that we needed.
Was there a moment, Coach, where you felt finally comfortable today against Detroit?
Yeah, when the final buzzer went off. I don't think you ever feel comfortable in any situation. I thought, Langston did exactly what he did for us. He can shoot you right back in the game, and I thought he did a great job of coming off and getting some shots that were challenged, and he made them. But at the end of the day, I thought Drew pretty much controlled the game and did whatever we needed for him to do for us to get a win.
Anthony was obviously limited when he came back, but how much was he able to help, especially on the defensive end?
Well, just having him out there means everything in the world. I mean, he was probably 50%, but just have him out there and defensively, I thought he still did a great job for us, and obviously his movement and wasn't where he would have liked to have it, but just having him out there, I thought helped us.
What did you think of the job that Julius did, and again with this lineup?
I thought he did a great job, and Nico is still kind of recovering. I mean, that's guy lost 6 pounds in one day. Obviously that's going to zap your energy, and he's getting back there. He made a couple of big shots for us, but I thought Julius played great. He's that physical presence that we always need, taking the ball to the basket and finishing. And then I thought, he came up with some big rebounds, physical rebounds that we needed. So everybody stepped up and played well when we needed them to. But, obviously Drew did a fantastic job just controlling the game.
Coach, do you think there's any question as to whether Anthony would play tomorrow or not, or is it to be evaluated later?
It'll be evaluated later. These kind of things, a lot of times it's the next day, where the pain is or whatever, and we'll just have to wait and see. But, we'll take all the precautions that we need necessary, and, if he's ready to go, we will. But if he's not, we won't. We're not going to press the issue, less than 30 games into the season, so we won't do that.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, Coach.
All right, you heard Mr. Gentry on that. Ain't much to talk about that, but we need to go ahead and move on. And we're going to get into what everybody's probably been wanting to talk about tonight. The most pressing of the three playing an actual contender, the Boston Celtics. We went up against them without Kyrie Irving, without Gordon Hayward, without Al Horford, and I believe they were also missing another player, and we still came up short. They missed Baines; he was also out, and the Celtics was still too much for us, man. 113 to 100. Is all the Pelicans could put up, 100 points. Very unimpressive game, besides from Andy Davis. I mean, he dropped 41. Say at least about 9 or 10 of them were basically trash. Game was pretty much over. But here's the breakdown of the team statistics so you can get a good idea how and why we lost. The Pelicans shot 44% from the field, with Boston shooting 48. Boston hit 12 three-pointers. We only hit 8. We both shot 30% from three-point line, though. Free throw percentage was 73 for the Pels to Boston 68. Boston out-rebounded us 51-39. Nikolai Mirotic left in this game with an ankle injury, and you can see right there we desperately needed him. Those 11 to 10 or so rebounds that Nikolai gets were very important, and tonight they were sorely missed. We had 28 assists to 23 assists by the Celtics. We did get 11 steals, so we had some effort going on. They had 8. We only had 1 block. They had 5. We had 13 turnovers. They had 15. They scored 15 points off of our 13 turnovers. We scored 13 off of theirs. We had only 9 fast break points to their 15. We hit the 50-point mark in the points in the paints. They only had 38. So let's go ahead and go over the player statistics, and then we'll talk a little more about this game. As I stated, AD had 41 points, 2 assists, and not enough energy to get more than 7 rebounds. Julius Randle had 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 20 points. Solomon Hill had 3 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Drew Holiday was wore out from that 37-point outing the night before. Shout out to him for that amazing effort the night before. But only 7 points tonight, 6 assists, and 1 rebound. And Al Gentry still played him for 39 minutes. Tim Frazier had 8 points, 10 assists, 1 rebound. Played 32 minutes, and at times during the game, I kind of wish he was out there a little more. We kind of needed him. Sheik Diallo came in and gave you a little bit. He gave 6 points, 7 rebounds. Didn't miss from the field, but a lot of that came in trash time. Nikolai Mirotic had 3 points, 1 rebound, and no assists. He only played 7 minutes before he got hurt. Darius Miller had 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Wesley Johnson played 3 minutes and got donutted. I don't know why he only played 3 minutes. Same thing with Jahlil Okafor. Same thing with Williams, but he put up 2 points. Ian Clark came in, gave you 17 minutes, and gave you absolutely nothing. Only 2 assists and 2 rebounds. I don't know how he managed to stay out there 7 minutes. Harris came in and gave you 3 points and a rebound and an assist. Looked like he should have got some of Ian Clark minutes. The Celtics tonight, again, this is the tour of the reserves. We had Langston Galloway tore us up. What's the guy came off the bench against the Grizzlies? Green off the bench against the Grizzlies tore us up. And tonight, Alfred Morris was the star, not Jason Tatum. Alfred Morris, we allowed him to get 31 points, 5 3-pointers. He hit 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and also he pissed some people off the way he usually does. Theus had 6 points. Tatum gave you 21, 6 rebounds, and Theus also had 5 rebounds. Marcus Smart had 4 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Terry Rozier got the start tonight with Kyrie Irving injured. He had 10 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. Ojali had 11 points, 6 rebounds. Williams off the bench gave you 7 points. Dozier gave you nothing. Brown chipped in 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists, and some crucial points towards the end of the game to close out, man. I mean, it was a pretty pathetic outing tonight. I got to give the Pelicans a little bit of slack because we did have a lot of injuries. We weren't quite ourselves. Etuan Moore didn't play. Nikolai Mirotic got hurt. Drew Holiday, after playing 40 minutes the night before, Al Gentry still gives him 39 minutes, even though he's wore out. Alfred Payton is still out hurt. So we're a little banged up, and we got a coach who doesn't know how to properly utilize his bench. So, things like that happen from time to time, but this is a game where you can't really give them a big excuse talking about we was hurt because they was banged up too. You had no Kyrie Irving. You had no Al Horford. These are the starters for them. Major core pieces, and these people came in there and dismantled us. It was a lot worse than the actual 113-100. That kind of looks like it was kind of close, but the last 8 minutes of the game were pretty much pointless. We had horrible rotations, man. There were 5 shots I counted that they just gave from the 3-point line. Nobody on them. You know, Morris, every time you look up, he was hitting a three. You have Julius Randle on him, and they're trying to switch. They're getting confused in the switch. Julius Randle drops down, gives Morris a wide open three. Dude's 5 for 8 from 3-point line. At the point where he was like 3 for 5, we're still not covering him. I mean, it just don't make no sense. Our defensive strategy, just garbage, man. You put in the guys off the bench, and you still saw the same stuff was happening with different players out there. Al Gentry is gonna say the same thing, I'm sure. Well, we're gonna let you hear his interview in a second, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna say something about running, you know. But they win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. So we play the Thunder tomorrow night, and hopefully we could go ahead and get a victory there. Technical team's having a little problems with the Al Gentry interview, but we'll talk a little bit about the Thunder since we having issues with that. We facing Russ and PG3 tomorrow at 6:30. We pretty much have been pretty good against them last season. We kind of did our thing. The all-time matchup against them, though, we only got 23 wins to their 31. But over the last 10 games, it's been 3-7. So, I mean, we started off pretty good against them at certain points. But last year, we had a win, we had a loss, we had a win. This year, we played them in November. We lost to them. We play them again in January, and we'll play them tomorrow and also in February. I don't think we really have an answer for Paul George, but Drew Holiday definitely is going to do his thing for slowing down Russ. But, I mean, you can't really stop that guy. But Adams is the guy also you need to watch because we're going to have to get some of these dirty points and steal that away from him. He's a guy that's very scrappy on the board, gets offensive rebounds from time to time. I think the Pelicans can go and pull out this game. I mean, y'all see the formula, so y'all know they're going to win. They just lost to the Celtics tonight, but this is a pretty formidable opponent. This ain't nothing to sneeze at as well. I mean, they ain't injured either. So we're going to have to bring our A-game, man, and a quick turnaround coming from Boston. It's going to be a very tough matchup for the Pelicans. It's going to require Alvin Gentry to get creative and actually use some of the people on his bench or use all of his bench by us having players that aren't exactly themselves right now. Nikolai Maric, as you heard the coach say, lost about 6 pounds when he had some type of illness, and he's dealing with fatigue. Now his ankle's messed up. Gentry More was out. We don't know if he's going to play. AD dropped 41, and he was a little banged up. But, I mean, after dropping 41 and losing effort, AD might be a little tired now. So, hopefully, Drew Holiday's back to himself. He played excellent defense. As Spurs tonight, he attributed to a lot of those turnovers. But, I mean, you gotta stick Russell Westbrook and Paul George, man. You don't really have a lot of help. Tim Frazier is not the guy that's going to stop Russell Westbrook. So, this is going to be another game, man, where it's some seesawness going on. So hopefully we don't get seasick in the wave of these Thunders. But hopefully we can fly all above it. We can fly above it because you know we the Pels. We're going so high. But we need to get past this 500 ball, man. Alvin Gentry, get it together, man. Get some assistance from your assistants because you might not be able to figure it out. But with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get up on out of here, y'all. I'll talk to y'all again the next time when we're going over this Thunder game. Yeah. Hopefully we don't drop the ball like that. But this is DC representing the PRO Media Network. This is Pelicans Postgame Report. We out. We will also like you to contribute if you can to the Patreon page, www.patreon.com/PRO Media Network. Go ahead and sign up for us, y'all. But until next time, peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. for all things Pelicans.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below. What's up, sports world? It's Big Q talking at you from the PRO Media Network, letting you know that we're attempting to make things a lot simpler on our listeners and viewers of our mini podcast. So as a result, we're leasing down a lot of our shows to have their own channels for your convenience. Starting soon, shows like Ring King Box, LSU's Tough Tiger Talk, the Pelican Postgame Report will all have their own individual YouTube channels. So thank you for working with us during this process. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your donations and support for our platform as we continue to improve moving forward. Peace.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Vapor DNA is the absolute premier online vape store, offering an industry-leading selection of e-cigarettes, e-liquids, and accessories. Our friendly and knowledgeable customer service team is always ready to provide the best customer service experience to ensure you find what you're looking for. We guarantee our vaping gear shop products to be 100% genuine and the lowest price. We are so confident in our selection and our customer service. We will offer our customers a 45-day refund policy. That's right, a 45-day refund policy. We are proud of this offer for three simple reasons: quality, selection, and price. And that is the reason you should choose Vapor DNA for all your vaping needs. That's www.vapordna.com. Again, that's www.vapordna.com.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
There's a reason this office canceled Casual Friday. Why this guy is getting cut out of the will. And why sibling rivalries really exist. There's a reason he's always Employee of the Month. And why no shirt and no shoes is no problem. There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAstore.com has all the gear.